Good day. My name is Marge. How do you do? Welcome to my tube. I am a Heoko wise clown. An empath with an attitude. I didn't sleep last night, like, at all. I don't think I even dozed. So when it was time to get ready for the day, that means when Benny wants his breakfast, then I just have been up since then. Anyway, things are spicing up, huh? Things are getting freaking wild. I watched a report, big on my astrology reports, because it's so congruent as to what is happening on every scale. Environmentally, economically, politically, personally, collectively. I guess collective could be all kinds of different. I guess it's I don't know, all this esoteric stuff is pretty much based on what you look at and what your vibration is drawn to. That's why it's so important that people do their own research, because that's where the synchronicities come into play and all that jazz. I started to watch an episode of the Goldbergs this morning, and freaking, because I have come across like every paradigm of vibration, and I recognize by people, by things they do and how they represent themselves and and all this. It's like Sherlock. I'm an esoteric Sherlock / good doctor that references a lot of pop culture. Hence why I like the Goldbergs, I think. And so I was like, recall my days when I thought about when I worked at this teaching hospital. I worked in the radiology department, and the chair was a Dr. Goldberg, because Barry went on to be a Dr. Goldberg, and at the end, it was like, at the end of the episode, they're like, to the future Dr. Goldberg, you know. It was my captain, the one where they did the Dead Poet Society, good episode. So I was like, Dr. Goldberg, oh my god. And just my interactions with him, I don't want to get into it too much. Anyway, so I don't want to take the synchronistic part about that's part of the magic. That's part of the stuff that's, what? Because that stuff never gets old. The synchronicities never get old. When you're thinking something and you're like, God, I really don't know if this is true or not, and you're like, get a chill, yeah, it's probably true. Well, that's how it is for me, because that's how I've set up my spiritual legend base on my Akashic records. And I don't have all the people know who they are. Like, I am from this and this and blah, 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 and I'm like, wow. I don't know if and there's no way to verify exactly, you know. I could have found Atlantis, or, you know, at some point in time, but there's no way to ever confirm nor deny it. I mean, whatever. So, but like, with all of the stuff that's in the air that is just fucking, because nobody knows what to believe. And some people do know what to believe, but you're in such a small category and there's so few far between that it's really hard to find other people like you. So that's kind of why I do these videos, to reach out to find other people that are like me, because I seek out places where I think they'd be, and people breathe pretty shallow there too. People are so shallow, they're so up here, they're just, and they're not, see, because we're all just, if people could just come to the notion that everybody comes into the world energetically balanced, it's all the crap that's shoved into their face that makes them, you know, go way manly or what, you know, play with dolls and all that stuff. I mean, that caused me so much disdain because I played with cars. I played with cars and I built things and I freaking rumbled around and I tossed it up and I mixed it up and I wrestled with the boys and I was always a contender. And then they always, we don't want to hurt a girl because I've just fucking hurt you, dude. I know what liars are. That's why people don't like to be around me much. So most of the time they can't admit to who they are to themselves. They don't want any help from me. So the astrology of it all is so accurate and on point. And I watched one last night about a neat lady. She's she verifies what I believe in, the karma of which was happened, that this nation is collected, and how it was founded and how it was acquired. That karma is being repaid, and people are being forced to come into balance, and they're not knowing what to do with the dissidents. That's what I believe, because people have always been masculine, their feminine is like coming up, so they're freaking acting emotional like a woman, even in the Senate. It's fucking hilarious, dude. People can't hide who they are. They can't. They try, and it's gonna be like that more and more often. You'll be talking to somebody and they'll be like, you know, and so, I don't know, a stupid trait, working hard or hardly working. And someone will be like, I like to go to the department store and steal on weekends. Or just something stupid like that, you know what I mean? They're just gonna tell on themselves. It's just gonna happen. It's just because the truth always comes out, and there's never been a time on this. People have incarnated at this time to watch this shit show. And I have never been a part of the world that is tumbling down. It's never been a real place for me. It's not because I didn't try to fit into it. It's just because that world wouldn't accept me. And now, because I'm adapted with being okay without a lot of the stuff that people tried to fill themselves up to make themselves feel better. People don't know how to self-soothe, and they're freaking they get themselves in situations with the anonymity when you run your mouth online. Then you go out in the world and you get a little taste of running your mouth. Well, every now and again you come up with someone that won't tolerate that rude behavior, and I'm one of those. Yep. So it's getting good. Girls are learning to defend themselves and standing in their power, and that is so wonderful to see. Because no means no, you see. Heck, you don't even have to acknowledge somebody. Dude, I've watched it. Because, I mean, okay, guys have been jerks to me for this reason. They know they don't... Men like to have sex with women. They know that's not going to happen with me, right? So I am always been treated like just one of the guys, right? So I see how they really are, and then I see how they are around women, and I see how they are around their wives, and I see how they're like different people. Heck, it wasn't before I went into the military that I was like a sheltered little, grew up in a little hick town in the armpit of California. I didn't know what gay while away was and all this stuff, you know. But the military taught me. And people are like, you're, always talk down, you're a lesbian. I'm like, dude, I only like one girl, like, every, like, 5-6 years, maybe. And that duration is actually getting longer because my standards are getting higher. Because it's not worth the bother. I used to be like these women that were just so broke until I fixed myself, and then all I see is women that are whole. It's freeing. But they're also really pretty, and most of the time I like straight girls, so what do you do? Anyway, with all the Viagra in the world and the men that don't act like men, it's actually making the numbers better for me. So, people are being busted out, they're coming in alignment. If people could just chill out, meditate more, and take time to, just be, and know that all that stuff is just nonsense. It's just nonsense. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all stuff. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.